Welcome to this episode of our program Daily Debate. As usual, we will be discussing an important topic. Tonight we'll be focusing on the energy and Egypt's steady steps in order to prepare to be a regional hub for energy. And Petroleum Minister Tariq Al-Mullah said Egypt is taking steady steps on the road of being regional hub for energy and trade, adding that the country managed to secure regional and international partnerships for this purpose. Al-Mullah said that Egypt took the initiative with the East Mediterranean countries to establish the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum as an umbrella for effective cooperation among the countries of the region in order to achieve the maximum economic benefits from the natural gas resources and export it to Europe. Of course, Egypt has continued to create an environment that really supports the transformation of the country into a regional energy hub, and there has been lots and lots of agreements that have been signed and lots of work that has been made in this or within this context. Tonight we'll be speaking about this. We'll be speaking about how Egypt is or has prepared for such a step. We'll be speaking about the development within the context of the circumstances that are happening around the country. Before we delve into our discussion, let me first take this first report on Egypt's LNG or natural liquefied gas. Experts at full capacity after gas price surge, according to Minister Mullah. Let's watch.
Petroleum Minister Tariq Al-Mullah said Egypt's natural gas exports are at full capacity of about 1.6 billion cubic feet per day from its two natural gas liquefaction terminals, as it seeks to benefit from a surge in international gas prices. He added that Egypt's natural gas production is stable, currently ranging between 6.5 and 7 billion cubic feet per day. He noted that exports are expected to fall to 1 billion cubic feet per day in April due to regular seasonal fluctuations as domestic consumption starts increasing into the summer. Gas and oil are a crucial source of foreign investment and dollar revenues for Egypt, which has been trying to position itself as an energy hub ever since the 2015 discovery of the giant offshore Zohr field. It has also worked to boost regional gas trade by hosting the East Mediterranean Gas Forum, set up to promote gas exports from the region. In separate, Al-Mullah said that Egyptian gas has played a role in securing Europe's energy needs. Egypt is also planning on 60 to 65 million cubic feet per day of exports to Lebanon under a US-backed plan to ease Lebanon's power crisis. Mullah said the start of exports had been pushed back to after Christmas, and this was now expected at the beginning of 2022. Egypt recently made amendments to crude oil extraction agreements, which Mullah said could result in an increase of about 100,000 barrels per day from current production of 575,000. The minister revealed that the amendments could result in $5 billion in new investment over the next 3 years, while $6 billion in foreign investment in the energy sector is expected during Egypt's current fiscal year, which ends in June.
Right, welcome back. And before we delve into our discussion, let me first introduce and welcome our guest, Dr. Gamal Qalyubi, Professor of Petroleum and Energy Engineering. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good evening.
Thank you. Let me start with the steps that Egypt has taken already, particularly in expanding the oil and gas exploration. And how do you view such steps, and where would that take Egypt to?
I think that's we are out of books in many ideas. So the philosophy of Egypt since 2015 up to 2021, that had been considered that the portfolio of energy is supposed to be in varieties. So our equation at the Egyptian is completely different compared to 35 years as a comparison. So we'll find that the philosophy and the ideas to solve over that crisis, and it's created a lot of problems in terms of electricity, shortage also in the fuel. So since that we have all that problem before 2015, so the philosophy of our books ideas is coming. First, that was not easy to go far in onshore to the offshore with a far distance up to 100 kilometers respected to our open sea areas, like what we're looking to and what we have been highlighted in the reports about Zohar field, and also in consequences of 5 different fields have been discovered and have been developed in less than 5 years. And I just have been highlighted that if you don't have the infrastructure and positive steps, one of that's 5 positive steps is the way to interact with Cyprus and also with Greece in terms of to determine the marine boundaries in the open water, specifically for the economy areas. Second step, that's what kind of technology in the Navy allow to maintain and defense for any actions coming to that's critical areas with a hell of money had been sprayed by the foreign investor in that area. The third, that's what kind of infrastructure can help in supporting to receive in case of a future discovery in that area, and how to reflect even to our neighbors and also the benefit of our neighbors. The last one is how to go for the crisis of the problem. It's already hit sometime our economy, and not for the purposes to make our economy flexible and maintain for some promising in the future. To overcome all situation, that's you need first to transfer the individual sources or resources of the petroleum with function of petroleum or oil gas used for everything active in Egypt. We talk about electricity, industry, petrochemistries, some of domestic fuel used in the houses, or some even economy fuel like in gas used for our cars. So to fulfill the requirements of that one, you need some huge capacity of production and also way to use the benefit of that one. So
as to fulfill the domestic
to do that, you shall put many resources, and this is the first step that the politics leader start to apply since 2015, that you have the alternative of resources, not only gas or oil, but go more further for renewable energy, go more further for nuclear energy, and also concentrate to improve the dynamic system of using to produce electricity, like the high dam, like Aswan 1, Aswan 2, Isna, Naga Hamadi dams. So all situation of that one allow with the varieties to maintain our economy promising. So we give a full concentration to the petroleum section to go for out of books ideas and go for more areas with new discoveries, more strong discoveries, add some values, big values in the productions, and that's reflected directly to run all what you need in country, in beside that you have the other resources which you need to develop, and specifically for renewable energies. That's resulted from new discovery in Zohr, North Alexandria and South Alexandria, the fields, addition to Giza and Reven and Atoll fields. That's a number of fields have been discovered and developed in additional to the Norris, the Golden Norris, which it's an offshore field in front of Kafr Sheikh Govern. That's helped too much to improve our production figures up to 2021, which it's our big production achieved 7.6 billion of cubic feet of gas per day. That's give us to go for more further for add values industries, like to go to improve the petrochemistries, improve also the way forward to liquid natural gases, which it's a big market. Thirdly, you go for infratizing, which it's a big value, an improvement for the country in terms of improve the agricultures, improve also the way forward to growing and claim for a new lands, which improve our crops, our needs of vegetables, a lot of things allow to us by achieving the satisfaction and saturation of emphaticizing production in Egypt. To go for all this portfolio, this is successful steps that the politics leading improve our economy, improve the discovery, alternative of resources of the energies, allow that the petroleum section in Egypt to concentrate for more foreigner investment and create a lot of results by new discoveries.
Right. If you can just divide what you said, sir, into points, because you have just summed up the whole issue in one
I
answer.
try to put to you how it's going the steps, because you said to me how the subjects coming to be successful. So we need to highlight it.
Exactly.
How the worst is the
So
first.
can we just divide this big answer into points? So first, there were preparations in order to fulfill the and satisfy the needs or the domestic needs of people, because we were short
In the gas?
in everything.
Yeah, also in the fuel.
Right. So this was the first point. Second, we started to prepare for furthermore.
Alternative resources.
The alternative resources we'll get back
for
to.
that step unless you have alternatives.
Yes, indeed.
And this is what I'm saying, that when you have a risk management system, you need to apply it. That the street will ask about the necessary items supposed to be in regular basis, delivered to them.
But before I go into the third step, can we just be in the second one? So we prepared, or we started our, or of course, I'm not speaking we, but we, the leadership and the government and all the efforts. So we prepared for at least satisfying the domestic needs. Then we started another step forward. If you can speak to the preparations that were made after being able to satisfy the need of the domestic or the internal needs of people, yes, because definitely that was or fulfilling the needs of people. Shortly after we were in big outages of electricity, we remember together how it was the case. Big stations, big power stations that were made, and all this, the ability to pay our partners in order to start again with work and all this. These were all preparations in order to start another stage, which is expanding and preparing for Egypt to be a hub. So, yes, please.
Back to this, I mean, that's basis, you know. Why I try to just carry on that part, that's the situation before and after, and how the ideas was out of the boxes, because this is really important. Yeah, you try to highlight it, what is the situation in 2012, 2013, and we have many interviews here in the same.
Yes, desk, indeed.
And we try to highlight how we can just go from that such a crisis, and which it's a problem coming to dark to all of us. So the situation was that we have foreigners looking for their rights, because portion of their production is a partner with us. So we took our portion, their portion, for long-term time, and this is create that we delay to deliver the rights and their portion of the production in terms of value. Second, that value is coming to big. We talk about almost $7 billion with a loan delayed to such foreigners, and this has created some delaying even for them to deliver another cash. So we start to give to them trusting to pay the rights, and this is in the last quarter of 2013. Then these foreigners started to get some approach that the leading and the politics leaders try to stabilize the security in the country, and this has gave another trusting to them that the country is coming to more stable, and they can pump another cash money, allow to them to improve their discoveries, and also to improve their investment for the operating company they have in the country. The third, that's they supporting with the political leader and sit with them in almost quarterly, yearly, for official meeting with execution or as executor chairmen for that company, foreigners, and sit with them their plans, asking them what they are going to plan, what they are going to expand in their budgets, what they are looking to improve from our side, and what even the opposites they are suffered. So whenever that foreigners had been felt that the crest of the pyramids as a president sit with them and also discuss such a problem and try to encourage and facilitate all the obstacles they may encounter, that give to them the feeling to go directly. So you go for the third step, as you mentioned, that you put all preparation on steps, get the full trusting of the foreigners, partners we have in the country. We talk about 26 partners. Can you imagine that in the international investment company in the world, that we have almost 90% of these companies in Egypt. Yes. And all of them, they are investing in Egypt. Whenever the pictures coming after January 2011, that all of them lost it at the trusting that the country is coming. But the philosophy is completely different. It changed approach in the end of 2000, after 30 of June. Everything is a change to them. Even the way forward of thinking to go for agreement with Cyprus and also with Greece, and they try to do some agreement in the open sea of Mediterranean, that's give to them all more trusting, even the diplomatics way and politics way, to deal with that mega projects like that, allow to give to them that Egypt's more secure. Egypt has a very good politics relation with the neighbors in the Mediterranean Sea. Egypt already has updated technology, Navy, allow to them that's get full trusting and not easy. That if I say to you that the mega project of, for example, Zohr, we talk about $6 billion. It's a huge money. It's not so easy to deliver and put it, that's in the open sea without assurances that the trusting and the strong defensing system in the Navy we have, even never in the Mediterranean Sea, give to them that's full assurances that the country is able, whenever they need to maintain their system of fields, production line, platforms, that's all, it's a money. So we come again to that soonest we apply such situation, and even to that the politics leader gave already to that mega project in the Mediterranean Sea full authority, full facilities, and they put that project in less 3 years. And these deep water mega projects, like what we have in this, like Zohr, was not an easy. It's consumed even up to 7 or 8 years. And if you try to put as a good real example, successful story, to perform such mega projects in less than 3 years by the supporting of the president, supporting of the government, supporting of the Navy, supporting even for the internal companies succeed to achieve the standard goals. We talk about petroleum section because we have almost 65% of the foreigner companies. We already have a part share 25, and up to 57% of the total project is supporting by our Egyptian companies and our workers, our engineering, with supporting of some foreigners to support the mega project, and we succeed. That example allowed to us to go for the second development project, third development project, and consequences allow to us to improve in short years from 2015 up to the end of 2018. We reached to produce Zohr with additional extra two fields, and the production come up from 4.1 billion cubic feet per day up to 7.6. So we talk about improvement in the production up to 200% in compared to what we had before. So bearing in your mind that in consequence to do that the infrastructure of the petroleum section in Egypt was updated, and more acknowledgement to the people that our infrastructure could be a hub in conjunction with Egypt. So we talk about petrochemistry factories, we talk about refining factories, like I said to you, the infratizing factories, in addition to the liquefied generation 3, 2 factories we have in Damietta and also in
Arcadia, E10 and 11 and all these refineries, new refineries.
Exactly.
Indeed. If I may ask you, okay, if we can divide the issue into gas, petroleum, renewable energy,
Perfect.
plus
Hydrogen.
going green.
Perfect.
Okay, so we start with the gas, and Egypt has gone so far in the discoveries of the natural gas, particularly in this or in the past, in the very few past years. You spoke respectively about solar. Egypt has been going through other explorations to the gas resources. How do you view this, and where is Egypt now on the map of gas exporters?
Good questions. If I try to evaluate the last report, which had been highlighted by ETUE or Europe Technical Energy Units, they consider that Egypt in stage number 9 as a granted country in a production of the gas. Talk about a production of the gas. We have almostly the 3 cows, the first 3 cows, which it's the United States, Russian, Iran, Australia, Nigeria, Angola, also Indonesia. That's the consequences, Qatar. That's the consequences of most strong producer countries. So to achieve that figures or to go for the grant such countries, we consider that a country has ability to produce the maximum consumptions is satisfied for their population, in additional to more of the production gas allow to such country to export the gas. According to that evaluation, they put the consequences of Egypt. Since the report of OAPEC, which had been published 3 weeks ago, that's already put a record for Egypt as an European country who was considered to producing a natural or LNG gases up to 900% in compared to the production last year, 2020. That's Egypt's growing in compared to the all rest of European countries. And this is give us some trusting that whenever we go for the trend of value add of what we discover, what we produce, what we have in our hand is completely different. Philosophy is different. Terms of that's the portfolio of the gas was considered in Egypt is a good approach to put the Egypt economy in conjunctions with the other economies across the area or even across the Europe. And this is already proved. Improved in how that even all agreement in the last agreement had been done according to the gas portfolio and the infrastructure strongest to Egypt allow that whenever to deliver that to Cyprus, to Greece, to Israel, to Lebanon,
That's the gas, the Mediterranean Gas Forum.
Exactly.
And we really want to highlight this issue, but before I go, we're moving to the Mediterranean Gas Forum, which is a big platform and part of Egypt preparations for the circulation and trade of energy in order to prepare to be a hub, but also oil. We'll be speaking about that, but before I continue on with our discussion, let's have this second report. An Egypt oil pipeline sees flows surge as Poland became biggest buyer. Let's watch.
Crude flows out of Egypt's assumed pipeline have surged to the highest level since oil producers made their biggest ever output cuts in May 2020, with Poland emerging as the largest buyer. According to vessel tracking data, more than 700,000 barrels a day of crude were shipped from the line's storage tanks at Sidi Krir in November. That's the most in 18 months, though still almost 150,000 barrels a day below the average in the first quarter of 2020, before the pandemic slashed oil demand and producers responded. While Mediterranean destinations dominated by Italy, Spain, Greece and Turkey collectively represent the largest market for crude from assumed, the two biggest individual destinations last month were further away in Poland and the Netherlands. The assumed pipeline allows shippers to bypass the Suez Canal, carrying crude delivered in some of the world's largest oil tankers from a terminal on the Red Sea to storage tanks near Alexandria on the Mediterranean. From there, shipments are made in smaller vessels to buyers, predominantly in the Mediterranean and Northwest European markets. The Information and Decision Support Center of the Egyptian cabinet showed the development in the petroleum sector during the past 7 years as it witnessed the signing of 99 petroleum agreements with investments amounting to $17 billion, in addition to the implementation of 45 projects to develop oil fields with investments of £565 billion. The video graph pointed out that investments in 2 new projects in the petrochemical sector in Damietta and Alexandria amounted to £72 billion, in addition to implementing 7 projects to develop refineries with investments of £86 billion.
Right, welcome back, and back to you, Dr. Qalyubi. And we were speaking about Egypt joining this the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum or organization, and we're speaking here about a new era for Egypt being or joining such a forum and even hosting it here in Egypt. How do you view this, and how does this reflect on Egypt at this very particular upcoming stage? Also, we have to reveal also to the oil discoveries that took place during the past period, including that one that the very big one in Meleha concession in the Western Desert. But let me here take your opinion of how joining such a forum or such an organization, hosting it in Egypt, reflects.
You understood well, it's our idea, the Egyptian, from the beginning. And you know well, that situation in the Mediterranean Sea was not so okay. I just highlight what a couple of crises happened. You know well, that there is a conflict between the south of Lebanon with Israel.
Yes.
There is also a conflict between the south of Cyprus in front of Turkey. There is also a conflict between Greece and Turkey. There is a conflict also between the part for a line area boundaries in front of Turkey and Libya. So the consequence in that one, in addition to the naval system used from the NATO in conjunction between Greece, Italy, and France in front of the area of a part of movement across that area was not comfortable, that the situation is coming to more investment, specifically that Europe suffered too much from a shortage in the gas.
Yes, indeed.
And bearing also in that mind, that was not considered before, that the perspectives of the Mediterranean Sea coming to the stage number 2, the prospection globally after the state, the Russian and Black Sea, and coming to the East Mediterranean area pool, it's coming to a big prospection of a gas up to 420 trillion cubic feet of the gas. That number, in compared to the 2 mega prospections in the United States and also in Russian, and you come to the area of Mediterranean Sea, that's coming out of calculations. That's created a lot of countries was in a bad behavior, and also in a way make it them crazy in their behavior in the Mediterranean Sea. And Egypt's political leader realized that one in 2019 across a meeting with Greece and Cyprus in Crete Island, and this had been deliver an idea from Egyptian that we can just contribute a big construction contributed by all the countries in the East Mediterranean, allow these countries to see on a table, try to discuss what the benefit and how to improve their benefit of using that gas and improve the discovery in terms of cooperation, in terms of supporting, in terms of use some facilities between the countries. And the idea is coming, like I said to you, with a supporting convenience from Affairs Ministry, in addition to our Petroleum Ministry, in addition also for our government Prime Ministry. This convinced a lot of countries to that's coming to that forum. And they try to discuss how they can contribute and build such forum and get some benefits of that conjunctions. That's start 2019 and 2020. They put the first and the second meeting. In the third meeting, it's coming to big organization, and they put agreement. They put and sign with the 7 countries, in additional to France, in addition to United States, in addition to Europe Representative Agency, yes. In also to the international banking. All such improvement and a lot of partners, in addition to Emirates, used as a supervisor in that forum. That's contribute a benefit in of the day that these people, they can improve their investment, they can improve their exploration activities in their companies, and also they looking fastly to use the infrastructure of Egypt, which it's contributed as a strong infrastructure in the pool of the East Mediterranean country, and that pool can deliver all the gases. Since they have wide of time, they are not able, due to problem, due to the expensive expenditures can be applied in that area, the complexity of the bottom sea of the Mediterranean Sea in terms of engineering, the piping was not an easy to expand it and extend to make a conjunction between the east up to the north of Europe, so it was not easy, and the east connected point by calculation, by actualities, it's Egypt. For that reason, that forum resulted in official agreement between Egypt and Israel to import the Israeli gas, and they tried to deliver to the LNG factories and re-export again, which allowed to get the benefit of the manufacturing of LNG. Second part, agreement between us and Cyprus, and this is allowed that we receive Aphrodite field gas to Egypt, an additional agreement between us and Greece to expand our production piping line up to Greece and past it to Europe, and this is quickly in hurry, is very beneficial to the European countries, allowed to solve 8%. They are looking for the gas additional consumptions, and they are looking for that areas.
Let me here just interrupt for a minute, because I need you, as you are speaking, because you pinpointed your finger on a very important issue. Lots of people would really want to understand what is the meaning of regional hub for trade and circulation of energy.
That's a good point.
We are discovering gas, we are discovering oil, but that doesn't make us a hub for the circulation of energy. What does this mean? What is regional hub for the trade and circulation of energy mean, and why would Egypt be one of the countries of potentials, of real potentials in order
as a hub?
Exactly.
Perfect. It's a good question, and also, Mona, it's a smart way that to deliver how we can just explain to the peoples how they put Egypt as a hub central for energies. Totally in the wallet that we have main 2 centers for energies. The first one is United States, because United States has a very wide infrastructure in Houston, which it's a big facilities. It can handle over 20 million barrels of oil per day. Also, Houston has a very huge number of infrastructure for piping, expanded up to the far of Gulf of Mexico, and also in that part it's a conjunction with the oil shale oil discoveries as new fields in Philadelphia and also in California desert. That's the big hub which have the all facilities, including storage tanks, including piping line, including gas lining, including also manufacturing of refining, LNG, port to export the natural gas, and also a lot of petrochemistry, which it's a huge number of our international market. The second hub was Siberia Island, which it belongs to Russian, and this Siberia is producing over 14 billion of cubic feet per day of gas, And this is with infrastructure over 3 piping line across Europe. We talk about Nord Stream 1, we talk about Nord Stream 2, we talk about Baku gas piping line, additional to over 25 petrochemistry factor in Siberia areas, plus refining system, in addition also to a conjunction of multi-fields, conjunctions between the area of central Russia into the Black Sea. The third hub, which was selectively, according to also the calibrations of such 2 big hubs, is Egypt. In terms of what? Egypt has piping line with Israel through the first Arabian pipeline, which is coming from Arish to Aqaba to Jordan, Jordan to Der Zuhur, Syrian, from Syrian back Hemsa to Lebanon, and also up to the Kazan boundaries with Turkey. The second piping line across the piping with Israel through Ascalon in the Mediterranean Sea. The third one, which is now going to build that line, is between Egypt to Larnaca, Cyprus, and this is allowed to receive the natural gas coming from the 2 fields. We have Aphrodite and Cyprus 1. Also, there is additional piping line now under study between the extension of Larnaca to Crete and from Crete to Europe. When I try to calibrate the 2 mega hubs in the world versus what we have in Egypt, Egypt has already over 9 refining factories. We have over 15 petrochemistry factories. We have over 21 factories of fertilizing. We have also over 2 generation 3 of LNG factories. In addition to that, we have a conjunction with long distance electricity net that's in conjunction, all that's allowed to us to be a country with the representative, a calibrated infrastructure, meet the comparison between us and the United States and Russia. For that reason, they select Egypt as a central hub of energies, because we have multi things due to our infrastructure facilities.
Unfortunately, Dr. Qalyubi, our time is
I didn't complete the last one for you.
I'm so sorry, our time is out here, but I really wanted to go in another important issue, which I guess will make another episode, because this issue also is very important, how Egypt is going green. The main theme of the whole world now is going green.
Technology of hydrogen.
And Egypt is, with God's will, is hosting COP27, and Egypt has taken lots and lots of steps in order to go green. We want really to make this episode once, and that would take really a lot of time. My time here is out. So Dr. Gamal Qalyubi, Professor of Petroleum and Energy Engineering, we thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for you and also for your team.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, many thanks for watching. I guess the next debate would be on Sunday. So until Sunday with another debate and another colleague, good night.